national identity has been distorted by Americanization and modern Western culture. The reason why Australia's true identity has been misinterpreted is because we sell our identity to others and to different cultures that our country is sunburned, easygoing, and most of the time drunk. We should not represent ourselves as these stereotypes, because we should sell a stereotype to convey our mateship, sense of sacrifice, and our willingness to stand up for what we believe in. Because that's what being a true Australian is about. We have shown these positive attitudes in many famous situations, such as World War I, as in Gallipoli, Eureka Stockade, and even Ned Kelly. Because Ned Kelly, as you all know the story, Ned Kelly actually stood up for what he believed in. These qualities are powerful attitudes that distinguish Australians from other countries, because our nation is built on compassion and care for our fellow mates with our firm willpower. There are numerous texts that indicate what our national identity is. Ones have been distorted, like Land Down Under, sung by Men at Work, and one that shows our true national identity, Waltzing Matilda, which is written by Banjo Patterson. Waltzing Matilda is a text that is more valuable to Australia's true identity than the contrasting text Land Down Under. Because Land Down Under was more created as a parody related to our national culture to sell sales, or to get sales. Land Down Under has been advertised in many Australian races, like that race that happens in Melbourne, that yacht race, and I have seen it on an ad for Finding Nemo, because obviously Finding Nemo is Australian, but we shouldn't actually represent ourselves as this Land Down Under, because it doesn't really show ourselves as this true stereotype or our national identity. This is why Waltzing Matilda is more important to Australia's history, because it shows what our true national identity is. Waltzing Matilda is probably the most wide-known poem or bush song around. Bush song. The song has also been referred to as Australia's unofficial national anthem. So it is a big thing. That's why it's more important, because it is our unofficial national anthem. It is what we sing. When someone says Waltzing Matilda, someone could just say the tune straight up, because we know it. It is more important than that crappy Land Down Under. The story is based on a swagman who camped next to a billabong, which is obviously a small waterhole, boiling his billy. Soon after, a sheep arrives, starts to drink, he steals the sheep, and yada yada yada. This poem has positive aspects because the history behind it. It has a distinct history, because Banjo Patterson in 1895 went up to a Dagworth station in North Queensland. At the time, Queensland was going through a crisis which is about sheep farmers. They weren't getting enough pay, because the people actually working on the farm were not getting enough pay. And one person, an Irish name that I cannot pronounce, I can try, Fitz Hoffmeister. Well, there you go, it's Miss Hoff. Related to. He was one of the ones that actually put up a riot at this homestead, and actually burnt down a barn, killing over 100 sheep. Soon after, he felt guilty about that and actually killed himself at a waterhole. People kind of think that it might be just because he felt guilty of the sheep, or it might be not because he didn't want to get into trouble. But I believe he was feeling guilty because of the sheep, because this is where he worked, he wanted better pay, he started a riot and accidentally killed 100 sheep. This is reflecting on to what our stereotypes are, because they weren't getting enough pay. So Hofmeister, Miss Hoff, stood up for what he believed in, did a riot against this station, and eventually killed himself, but another story. Now, what other countries look at us is essential. The way other countries look at us is essential, I should say. The reason Down Under, sung by the band Men at Work, is not relevant to our national identity is because it presents a false national identity. It's mainly that song was made when they were high, obviously, because it's just completely out there. They were smoking weed or whatever. It actually says in the text, travelling in a Friday combi on a hippie trail, head full of zombie. Head full of zombie means like I am so high because I have marijuana. And it is true. That's what it's about. And we're actually putting that on a kids' TV show as an ad for Finding Nemo. Is this really showing what our national identity is? Smoking marijuana on a hippie trail? We're in a Friday combi? I believe not. That's why Waltzing Matilda shows more of our more hidden aspects, more aspects that we show as a nation to ourselves. We don't sell that to other people. Because if you think about the war, if you think about Ned Kelly, there's a lot of stories that show our stereotype, which is standing up for what we believe in, sticking up for our fellow mates, and rather convey our mateship. Now, our national identity is obviously what Australia is. We should actually advertise ourselves as a nation that stands up for what we believe in, not a nation that smokes marijuana in a Friday combi, or a nation that goes around Australia for people that ask, can I have some Vegemite? That's what this text is about. We should actually relay what our country has done, but not what some band has made up for ourselves. Not what some band has made up while they were high advertising Australia. We should advertise ourselves as what this country is about. Thank you.